Okay, so today we're going to look at question 5 2019, the transformation geometry question. So we're given the logo for lighting company shown. We're asked to draw this and then determine and draw the image of the logo under each of the above transformations. So we've axial symmetry from P to P1. So from P to P1 is axial, P1 to P2 central symmetry, P2 to P3 translation, and from P3 to P4 a rotation anti-clockwise through 90 degrees. Okay, so our first step is to draw this logo. I've done this already, just speed things up. And then our next step is to set out the grid, so for P, P1, P2, P3, P4. So it's just a matter of following these measurements and marking them down. Okay, so our next step then is, it's a very, very important step. We need to label each point. So I'm going to label this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so labeling is very, very important, otherwise you will get confused. Okay, so from P to P1 is axial symmetry. First step is to join them together. This is to determine the line of symmetry. So we need to bisect the line. So we set our compass to a little over half. Mark it off. Then drain it through. I'm just doing it in purple so it's a bit easier for you to see. Right, so next we need to bring across our points. Okay, so we're going to start with P1, or our first point, sorry. We'll bring it across. Then we take our compass, put down on the line of symmetry, set the distance to point 1, mark it across. That is point 1. So we continue on and do the same for all of the points. So we do point 2 and 3 all the way up along. So the actual shape itself shouldn't change. It's just the layout that's going to be in. So it'll change direction and so on, but it'll never change its shape. So all the measurements that we started off with should be the exact same when we're finished. So I'm going to start off with P2 or number 2. Number 2. Make sure to label them as you go along as well, otherwise it'll just look like points on the page and you won't know what is what. That's point 3. You already have 4. That's point 5. That's point 6. And point 7. Okay, so we know the circle is radius 25. So we're just going to set 25mm radius on our compass, and from number 5 we draw a circle. Okay, and we can join up all our points. I'm just going to bring over one more point. That's the center one for it to come down through. So just bring that straight across, that'll cross the center point. We can then join that up 26. 0.7. Okay, so that's our axial symmetry done. Our next step is central symmetry from P1 to P2. So same as what we've done with the axial symmetry, we're going to join P1 to P2. Sorry, I'm just going to straighten that line up. We take our compass, bisect that line because we need to find our center of symmetry. So a little over half. Join it through. So this becomes our center of symmetry. So I'm going to put point C, I'm going to put a line of symmetry here. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to bring all our points through this center point. So point 1. And the same as what we've done before, except everything is through the center. Take the distance of point 1, mark it off, point 1. Do that for every single point again. So when you get good at it, you can bring multiple points at one time to speed things up. Until you get the swing of things, just bring one point at a time. And if you do get confused, little trick is just line the set square up along again and you see, oh, there it is. Okay, so point 3. Point 5. Center point at the bottom. Okay, so do the same with point 5. So I just need to extend that line on a little bit more. Sorry, I marked off on the wrong one. So this is point 5. I'm drawing our circle now, so radius 25 again. And we can join them up. And just going to extend this point down a little bit further. So that's our center there. And we need to find point 6 and 7 now. There's point 6, point 7. They just join back to our center point. Same over here. Okay, so that's central symmetry finished. Okay, so you might have noticed point 1 is over here and now it's on this side. So axial symmetry is like a book opening. Central symmetry, the whole thing is going to flip over. Okay, so our next one is translation from point 2 to point 3. So what we need to do is join from point 2 to point 3. And this translation is effectively like pushing the object along. So we're going to push this whole logo along that line to point 3. Okay, so what we need to do is slide in set squares. join this line. So that move there. Okay, and we're going to move it a distance, the same distance that it is from P2 to P3. So just set your compass, P2 to P3, and then put on each point. So there's point 1, there's point 2, 3, point 5. It's our center line for the box. I'll do point 6 and 7 now in one moment. So draw in your circle again, the radius 25. And you can bring down point 6 and 7 then. And where they hit the circle, that'll give you your points to join them to. So they just join back. Like so. So that's our translation. So I just literally pushed it down. Okay, so our next one, which is the most difficult one, is our rotation. So we're asked to rotate it through 90 degrees. So we need to find a center point to rotate from. In order to do this, we need to construct a triangle basically. And we're told to rotate it through 90 degrees. So in a triangle, do it down here. We've three angles that add up to 180 degrees. So we know that this angle is 90 degrees. And when all three add up, it's to 180 degrees. So we take 90 degrees from 180, that leaves us 90. So we know that these two angles here add up to 90, so we just divide it by 2. And that gives us 45 degrees. So we know that each of these angles is 45 degrees. Okay, so what we need to do is join P3 to P4, get our protractor, mark off 45 degrees there, mark off 45 degrees, there, join them up to where the crossover. That there is our center point, center of rotation. Okay, so that's where all of these points rotate through. Okay, so our next step then, we need to rotate everything 90 degrees. So we'll start point 1, join it up to the center. We need to go on 90 degrees off of it. Take your compass, put the point of it on the center and the nib on point 1. rotate it around, where that crosses over that line, there's point 1. Going to do the same for point 2, so join point 2 to P2, or P4, sorry, or centre of rotation. Come 90 degrees off of it. Rotate it around. Here's point 2. Join up point 3. Rotate it around. Point 5 then. Rotate around point 5. So it's quite hard to tell here. If you need to go back and do it again, that's no problem. So you know, that's it there. That's point 5. I'm going to set my compass to 25 to redraw the circle. Oh, sorry. Okay, join up point 1 to point 2. Join up all our points. Okay, so we need to find our center point here and point 6 and 7. So it's the exact same process. So do point 7 here. Line it up, 190 degrees off it. So there's point 7. Point 6. And then our center point, which is here, join it up and meet across, which is there. Finishing touch then, join it back to it. That's it, finished. So the main thing to remember is with the rotation, each one of these is 90 degrees. They're always coming 90 degrees off it. So that angle in there is 90 degrees. Okay, and that's for each individual point. You treat them as completely separate. So I'll just show you another little one more again. So point 2. The angle in there, 90 degrees. And every single one of those the same. Okay, so key points to to remember: accuracy and labeling. Okay, thank you.